Hello, everyone, and welcome back to day 3 of the Melbourne Championships. My name's Adam Hall, sitting alongside me, Gordon Watson. And Gordon, it's quarterfinal time.
It's quarterfinal time, and we're about to get underway. What a matchup this will be. So closest to screen, we've got Joey Wild and Xiaoyi Pickleball up against the Indian champion Aman Bhatia and the American sensation herself, Shelby Bates.
Conditions here in Melbourne, very, very nice. Little chilly, as you can tell from the players' garments on court. However, not much wind around. Perfect for pickleball. And Gordon, the road to get here has been interesting around the grounds, we must say. There's so many high-quality teams, but there's already been a number of upsets. Just saw the very fancied pair of Kyle Yates and Danielle Townsend actually go down to Ryan Henry and young Nicola Skuman.
That's great for young Nicola. Nice Ernie from Wild.
Second server.
Yeah, so their road to here for Pickleball and Wild, they had a bit of luck against Guerrera and Jason Taylor. Apparently, Jason Taylor had to retire hurt, so we hope he is okay. But then they had a great win against Jamie Way and Fook Win. That's no easy task, Adam.
Certainly not. Jamie Way, one of the stars in the MLP Australia format for the Fast Fours. She has been in fantastic form, but she'll get a freshen up before an all-important semi-final clash between the Fast Fours and the semi-final. And Aman Bhatia has just worn one to the mummy-daddy button, you could say.
And the referee said, oh, it's okay, just give it a rub. So, some
Shelby
advice
Bates
there.
can't contain herself. Everyone just trying to regain her composure here.
I think we all are. Yeah, so speaking of Shelby Bates and Aman Bhatia, they've already had victories over Mihei Kwan and Kim Yujuan in the round of 32, and then in the round of 16 have defeated highly fancied Kyle Watnell and Yuchi Shea. So they're coming into this quarterfinal with some good form. Oh, and it drops.
Well, a nice shot there from Xiaoyi.
5-2-2.
It's a little bit breezy. You can sort of see it in the trees. That one goes long. But nothing like the first day of the championships where it was completely gusty and difficult. She'll be getting the roll. Oh, nicely read by Aman and Shelby there.
3-5-1.
And that ball finds its way inside the baseline. So right now the players exploring all corners and pockets of this show court.
4-5-1.
Nice attacking play from Bhatia and Bates. Bates threatening the Ernie there. Could have put Joey a little bit off and forced that error.
Well, for Bates and Bhatia, this is a first-time pairing. We haven't seen this pairing at all throughout the PPA Tour so far here in Australia. But for Zhao Yi and Joey Wild, well, they're regular partners. They play, of course, for the Sydney Smash together.
And with the way things are going, both these teams would be thinking, oh, if we can get through this quarterfinal, anything could happen, because some of the big names have already fallen. And like you mentioned before, Adam, Danielle Townsend and Kyle Yates.
Yeah, that's a big story. Obviously, Danielle Townsend in the mixed doubles format normally does play with Joey Wild.
Yeah.
And I think they've had a temporary breakup, no bad blood, but everyone did raise their eyebrows a little bit because, you know, for Joey Wild and Danielle Townsend, they had won 3 consecutive PPA Tour championships.
They would have been going for the 4-peat, which would have been unbelievable.
Certainly would have.
And we sort of mentioned it on your podcast, you know, like when you win so many gold medals, it's like, oh, yeah, I'll swap it up, you know. But
does it interest me, you know, in this professional format where there's prize money available, that these players generally look at their partnerships well in advance, you know, 2, 3, 4 tournaments in advance. And when you've got a good thing going, surely you keep it going, right?
Well, I would. Oh, and Shelby almost got to that. So the net playing an important part in this match early. And Bhatia going straight on to Zhao Yi.
Well, that was nice and aggressive by Bhatia coming in. The split step was so strong. Set that point up, right to left.
He's getting some really heavy topspin going, Bhatia. Ooh! And Shelby Bates, kaboom!
I just love the way that Shelby Bates sort of creates the space so that she can get low and execute that perfect double-handed backhand. Easily the biggest hitter of all the female on the circuit here in Australia.
So fierce.
8-5-2.
Nice pick up from Wild. Oh!
And an inside out to finish. Joey Wild, he's got all the shots.
He does. He's just... It was almost as if he was toying with the opposition on that rally.
5-8-1.
And he's in his slouch hat again today. It's almost become his own trademark. Oh, Joey finding some form here. This could be ominous signs for Bates and Bhatia.
Oh, 6-8-1.
Nice low return from Bhatia. Oh, great attack from Shelby. Just a hint of a gap down the middle and she pelted it down the centre.
Yeah, an awkward angle there for Joey Wild, popping that ball up a little bit too high. Shelby Bates reading it so well, straight down the middle. Great dig.
Nice pick up. I'm not sure I like Zhao Yi going front on to Bhatia.
Yeah, it's a really tough assignment that she's got with direct opponent Aman Bhatia in stature and power.
8-6-1. Second server.
Nice work there from Wild to keep Bhatia back.
8-6-2. Point.
And a cheap point. But every point counts.
9-6-2.
And another cheap point. So they cannot afford these cheap points,
10-6-2.
Beckvall and Wild. Oh, what a drive from Bhatia.
Side out.
Set it up beautifully, but Bates couldn't finish off.
Well, that was an amazing get there from Joe Wild. Much needed get after dropping 2
6-10-1.
points off service. They've now regained service. Zhao Yi.
Point.
And an easy point now for
Yeah.
Wild and Wang Beckvall.
That was a nice swinging serve from Beckvall.
7-10-1. Point.
And again, that serve just seems to be drifting.
8-10-1.
Well, it looks like we're going to take another timeout here. And it's been an interesting turn of events here. We've had a few too many cheap points given away off serve on both sides consecutively. And it's just caused the partnership there of Bates and Bhatia to have a timeout little rethink.
And I think it's a good timeout, Adam, a good time, because they're still in front. They haven't waited too long. They want to break that momentum. So I think it's a good timeout for Bates and Bhatia. The double Bs. B1 and B2.
B1 and B2, I like that, Gordon Watson.
Who would be one, do you think?
You'd have to go with Bhatia, but I think Shelby would debate that.
Yeah, I think you're right, Adam.
Well, we're about to be brought back into play here.
One timeout remaining this game.
Wang Beckvall here with ball in hand. Our first server.
Point.
And another cheap point. So both teams just struggling to find momentum.
9-10-1.
And Joey Wild cannot pop it up to him.
Well, he set himself up so well, aggressively taking the
10-10-1.
middle of that centre line, putting it at the feet of Bhatia, finding the pop-up, finishing. We're all locked up here, 10-10.
And that goes long, and all of a sudden it's a game point for Beckwell and Wild.
11-10-1.
Oh, Bates with the Ernie. She read that perfectly, Adam.
Well, that's a great moment there for Bates. Unfortunately, a few errors off her paddle, but she stems the flow of those errors now.
11-10-2.
See how she is on this service return.
Still a game point,
Point and go.
but just not consistent. And Wild and Beckvall have taken the first game, 12-10.
Well, a remarkable performance there. A complete turnaround of events on the scoreboard there. Bhatia and Bates were totally in control of that match.
Absolutely in control. And they must be thinking, how the heck did we just lose that, 12-10, when they were clearly on top?
Well, this is a quarterfinal clash. That is the end of game one. Wild and Beckvall have taken that first one out. We're going to take an opportunity for a quick commercial break. When we come back, game two.
Welcome back to PPA Australia. This is the Melbourne Championship powered by Joola. This is game two. What a great ATP from Wild. Incredible start from the Australian slouched hat wearing gentleman. Earning the side out.
0-1.
Nice serve down the middle from Beckvall. Oh, and a great spot. Nice speed up to the hip of Bhatia. So Wild starting to find his groove.
1-0-1.
It's got the roll.
Another ATP. Sorry, another Ernie. My apologies. We're both excited.
I know. Bates is starting to rack up the Ernies. That's her second.
Well, she'll take them every day of the week against
1, 2,
Joey
and 2.
Wild.
And nicely on the backhand, just quietly.
Side out.
Well, we are into game 2, of course, of this quarterfinal
0,
clash.
1, 1.
Shelby Bates with ball in hand. Her partner, Aman Bhatia from India. One of our most decorated players. He's won a number of gold medals here in the PPA Tour here in Australia.
As well as other events around the world. He's just a machine. Oh, and Bates lined that up.
Well, that shot was there for Bates. It was a great dig there by
0,
Wild.
1, 2.
But for Wild and Beckville, they can count themselves a little lucky on that one.
And that's a powerful drive from Bhatia. He just generates so much power and top spin
1, 1, 2.
that moves the ball through the air.
Point. Two, 1, 2.
Lovely deep serve. And another powerful drive. So Bhatia also looking ominous.
Well, from behind, that looked nasty. The amount of
3,
top
1,
spin
2.
he was able to put on that just dipped completely and then it went across the plane of the net.
Point.
As did that one. So he's getting his range in now, and
1, 2.
Wild and Beckville are calling now for the timeout. Well, they've come out swinging, and they really needed to because they need to atone for that near miss, or complete miss, I guess you could say, in game 1. They were largely up for most of that game, and they ended up coughing up way too many errors and almost handing that game to Wild and Beckville.
Well, it was. It was like watching Monopoly and you get that free, get out of free jail card, and that's exactly what Wild and Beckville did without really having to do much. So, you know, I think Bhatia and Bates have obviously come out a lot more focused here, and they really need to take the lead and just move on with this now, because they cannot afford to take their foot off the accelerator.
Yeah, and Wang, Beckville and Wild are very keen to keep the ball completely away from Aman Bhatia. You've seen a couple of earnings now from Bates. They've been so conscious of trying to keep it away from Bhatia that they've exposed themselves for a couple of earning opportunities, and Bates has taken both of them.
And there he is again. Bhatia taking charge. It's so beautiful to watch when he's in full stride.
5, 1, 2.
Just drifting wide for Bhatia.
Well, Wild and Beckville get the side out now. They went to the timeout. Didn't quite work, but on the second occasion now, they have got serve. Opportunity here for them. They want to go 2-0 if they can after taking out game 1 of this quarterfinal clash here at the Melbourne Championships.
Bhatia just standing and delivering.
1, 5, 2.
Look for the switch here from Bhatia and Bates.
Side out.
And the serve going long. Wild and Beckville cannot
5-1-1.
afford those errors, being 4 down here in the second game. They have the luxury of
6-1-1.
one in the bank though. Oh, what a shot from Beckville.
Well, that's a remarkable shot considering she had to contend with the switch. They're trying to unwind the stack there. She got there quickly. She was able to whip a forehand right down the sideline.
And swung it back into court. Oh, but Bhatia and Bates have the answer. The double whammy.
A few quick points here now, Gordo. This match is
7-1-2.
exciting at the moment.
Oh, Bates. So just as they're looking to really take the momentum, again, that
171.
error has come back to haunt them.
Second server.
We're seeing a high amount of mistakes from these 4 players.
172.
Normally, they're all so consistent and execute their shots so well. But this is obviously a quarterfinal clash. It's big time. The winner will move on, of course, to a semi-final here. Prize money available.
272.
And I think the errors is stemming from the fact that each player on the court knows the quality of their people surrounding them, and they have to go for everything. Because not just an average shot will absolutely get punished.
Oh,
Bates.
That's number 3.
Do we count that? Yeah,
We
that's
give
an
that
Ernie.
to her for sure.
Absolutely.
She is playing at such a high level with her court awareness right now. Shelby Bates.
721. Point.
Well, the lead is blown out now. It's a 6-point deficit for Wild and
8-2-1.
Wayne Beckvale. Barty and Bates.
Second server.
Barty again going for that deep serve. Just a tad too long.
8-2-2.
Beautiful serve from Bates, right in the corner.
Side out.
Beckville, a chance here, the side out.
2-8-1.
Getting the net roll.
Second server.
Easy leave there for Bartia and Bates.
Joey just rehearsing that stroke again.
2-8-2.
Nice low return from Bartia.
Point.
And Beckville winning the dink rally with Bates. They've just got to take 1 point at a time.
3-8-2.
See if they can build some scoreboard pressure. And Bartia again inserting himself. That's when they look their most threatening, Adam.
8-3-1.
And the side out earn. Oh,
Point.
beautiful 1-2 from Bartia.
Well, the speed up cross court to Bartia from Wild. Bartia was there for it. Wayne Beckvale
9-3-1.
put it back to Bartia, but a ball that was not too high, but punished by Bartia. And now we quickly have a game point in this game 2 of this quarterfinal clash, Gordon.
10-3-1.
This could lock things up at 1 game apiece. And it does. We're locked up at 1 game apiece here in the mixed doubles quarterfinal at the PPA Australia Melbourne Championships. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with game 3 right after this.
Hello and welcome back to the Melbourne Championships here. My name's Adam Hall, Gordon Watson. We're watching the quarterfinal clash, and we are going to game 3 here.
Oh, we've seen 2 very exciting games, and of course this is a decider. It's the deciding game 3, so they'll swap at 6.
Timing 0-0-2.
So it's all on the line here. A semi-final berth is up for grabs. Who is going to take it?
Side out.
Nice aggressive play there from Bates. We were just talking in the break, Gordon, about the turnaround of events there.
0-0-1.
Game 1 was on the paddle, you could say, of Bates and Bhatia, but Wang Beckvale and Wild made a comeback
Point.
to take that game 1. Game 2, Bates and Bhatia came out firing. Huge victory in that game 2.
1-0-1.
Yeah, and as you said, Adam, whilst we were off having on break,
Point.
for me, I think Shelby Bates is the X factor in this game. If she can maintain that aggression and keep her composure, I think she could be the difference here.
Yeah, I think you could be right. I mean, Shelby has had a number of errors on her paddle, but she's also had a large amount of the highlights.
Absolutely.
3 earnies against Joey Wild. She's reading him like a book at the moment.
I love that, Adam. Reading him like a book. Love it.
Second server.
It's a bar-
2-0-2.
nice, confident start for the double Bs.
This one will go sideways, I'd say.
Oh,
Side out.
Bates almost got that one back as well.
Well, it's just another chapter in the book. She read that off the Wild paddle, but unfortunately that ball sailed well and truly wide over the net.
0-2-1. Second server.
Nice pressure from Bates and Bhatia.
0-2-2.
Wild and Beckville with it all to do now.
Side out.
And that side out doesn't make it any easier. What can Bates and Bhatia do here? Can they edge closer to a semi-final berth? Great attacking play from Beckville. She's not going to lie down. They're going to have to take it from her.
2-0-2.
Great play from Joey.
Well, an important side out here. No points earned by Bates and Bhatia. Not letting this one get away from them, Wild and Beckvale.
Nice serve down the middle from Beckville.
Point.
Great change up on the serve.
1-2-1. Call it again. 1-2-1.
Oh, what a serve from Beckville. She went down the middle on the last serve and then right into the corner on that serve. She's mixing it up perfectly. And finds that down the line again, Adam. That's the second time Beckville has done that on the Bhatia wing. How hard is that?
Well, she made it look so easy on that occasion. But make no mistake, that takes a lot of courage against Bhatia.
Great get from Wild. Oh, Beckville did so well to defend there, but the tape just robbing Wild of his defence.
Well, for Bhatia, he really makes sure he takes the middle of that court position when he pushes Wild wide. And for Wild, he's just putting it in the sweet spot right now for Bhatia.
And Bates going back behind Wild. She's a wily character.
For Wild, he might need to start considering a few more front-on digs just to throw some variation. He's got a marvellous backhand dinking style, gets a lot of heavy topspin, but court position continued to be taken by Bhatia, putting Beckvale under a lot of pressure to defend balls at her hips.
I think Bhatia just wanted the stat on that one. Shelby screaming, "That's out!" But Bhatia just slamming it for a winner.
I think he might have hit it so hard he's put a crack through that ball, Gordo.
Yep, you're right, Adam. They've turfed it off to the side and they've got a new ball. New ball in Bates's hands.
If you are just picking up the live stream, welcome. We're, of course, coming to you live from the Melbourne Championships here at Frankston Centenary Tennis Club. We're in a quarterfinal here. Scoreline is 1 game apiece. We're now into game 3 of this quarterfinal. Mixed open doubles. And this game has been an interesting one so far. We've seen some great individual performances on the furthest side of the net, with Bhatia and Bates taking pure control of that second game. And they look in control of this third game right now.
Nice 2-point lead. Look for the switch here from Beckvale. Oh, that one going into the net. So it's 6-3. So the players, because it's game 3, the deciding game will swap here. It's 6-3 with Bates and Bhatia in the lead.
Well, it's been interesting, Gordon. I did note that, you know, for Bhatia, he takes such incredible central court position. And when he pushes Wild wide, he's taking so much time off him and taking balls out of the air, and it's putting Beckvale under a lot of pressure. She's doing a fantastic job, mind you, at resetting and putting the ball back into play. However...
Well, she'll be feeling confident because there's 3 points there where she went directly to Bhatia, including that winner down the line, and then 2 speed-ups to him where she got the error.
Yeah, and just making him play soft ball.
Yeah.
And I think for Wild, he could try to make Bates play some soft ball if he was prepared to go in that direction. We really haven't seen it. He hasn't been looking to change things up.
And they've got to do that, and they've got to do it now because they're 3 points down. It's the third and deciding game. They've got to put it all on the line here. The winner of this goes into the semi-finals. And Bates, when she is on, she is on.
7-3-2.
Great shot at the feet there by Bates at Wild.
Points.
And that drifting wide.
8-3-2.
8-3 now. Oh, and just wrong-footed there, Bates. I thought she was going to do the splits again, Adam. We saw that twice in Vietnam.
She looked like she was stuck in the mud. One of my favourite games from primary school, that one, Gordo.
Second server.
And for Wild and Beckvale, just nothing seemingly to going right at the moment. Just trying to recalibrate all their shots and being stuck on the baseline now. Bhatia and Bates keeping them back.
Oh, Bhatia just relentless. Of course, this Melbourne Championships here in Melbourne is powered by Joola at the Frankston Centenary Tennis Club. And the sun's coming out, Adam, and the action is hotting up and the climate is starting to warm up because it has been a little bit cool for us Queenslanders.
Well, it looks like we might be having another ball change now. I'm not sure if it's to do with the crack. I think it might be more to do with the shape.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's if it was a crack because Bhatia is just punishing that ball.
8-3-1.
Nice pick up from Bates. That's
ball.
high. Ooh.
Second server.
And Beckville was all over that.
8-3-2. Side out.
Great return down the middle.
Not sure what happened there with Bhatia. Maybe a dead patch on the court. He doesn't normally drive them
3-8-1.
middle of the net. He normally hits with such precision. Speaking of precision, oh, just put the absolute knocker on him.
It's almost as if he changed his mind on that shot.
Second server.
Nice duck there by Bates. Let that one sail long.
4-8-2.
Nice deep return from Bates. Oh, and was that just wide from Bhatia? So another point here.
5-8-2.
5-8.
Side out.
And a side out. For a moment there, Adam, it was almost like watching game 2 where Bates and Bhatia let a big lead slip. They've got to hang on here. They've got to watch.
Nice finish
Nice.
there from Wild. And he went direct against his opposition and Shelby Bates there. And it's proven a winner.
Smart play.
We haven't seen that often.
Point.
Beckville going for the cross court drive volley, but just netting it.
9-5-2.
Just as looked like they were going to build something.
Nice
And
finish
Wild
there by
finds it.
Wild. Well, he does find it, Gordon Watson. He's finding it at the right time in this quarterfinal clash, game 3. It's now or never for Wild and
5-9-1.
Beckville. They've regained serve.
Nice serve down the middle from Wild. Oh, great play from Bhatia.
Right at the feet of Joey. Made contact with his
5-9-2.
shoes there. Used them as a backboard.
Point.
And it's another point. 6-9.
6-9-2.
If they can get another point here, Adam, that scoreboard could cause a bit of pressure for Bates and Bhatia. What a pickup.
Well, the defence there by Wild, it was absolutely remarkable. And Beckville, her reaction speed too,
And-
just to get out of the way of that ball.
And it's Bates and Bhatia who have called the timeout. So I think we're on the
they
money.
needed it.
Yeah.
They needed it big time. It's reminiscent of almost that game 1, which they did let slip.
And they definitely don't want a repeat because everything is on the line here. This is game 3. It's do or die. A semi-final is at stake.
Well, it's been the change-up from Joey Wild being a little more aggressive and a lot more assertive in the direction of his cross-net opponent, Shelby Bates. A couple of points earned there, a couple of side-out opportunities. And I'm not sure if it's a obvious strategy change or not, or just circumstantial, but it has proven to work.
And you think, and you look at both teams, and if one of them's got one more gear to shift, it would be Beckville and Wild. Bates and Bhatia have really shown us some absolute patches of brilliance. And if they can tap into that, they can drive this match home. But if Wild and Beckball can find that next gear here, this is anybody's match.
Well, the players are back on court now. It'll be Beckvale to serve.
Oh, that's brilliant play. Like, when they combine like that, Adam, it's just so perfect to watch.
Well, it's almost like they set the trap for Joey Wild there, going cross-court.
Well, did you see Shelby? She set herself up for an Ernie against Wild. That's how much confidence she has.
Wild pulls the trigger on that one. A low ball, and it brings up a match point in this quarterfinal for Bhatia and Bates.
And there it is. 11-7 in Game 3. It's Bhatia and Bates who have booked their ticket through to the semi-finals, taking out the highly fancied Joey Wild and Zhao Yu Beckball. Adam, what a match.
That was a remarkable match. After that first game where they completely dropped it, handing it back over to Wild and Beckvale, it didn't look good, but the way that they came out in that game too was impressive. They came out swinging, had a big victory in that one. And Game 3, they were in control from the get-go. And then it started to all tighten up a little bit, didn't it, Gordon?
Well, as it does. And, you know, maybe a few nerves got involved there a little bit, but they got the job done. They've booked their ticket into the semi-finals. And the next match looks like they're warming up already. So we might take a quick break and be back with more action right after this.
What's your duper?
Welcome back to PPA Australia, to chilly Melbourne. I don't know what just happened, Adam, but there was some sort of tornado that just swept through.
Yeah, you don't often see or hear of tornadoes here in Australia. It's something you hear from America. And speaking of, we've got a couple of our US pros,
Well,
the Lovebirds.
there are a couple of tornadoes themselves when they're in full cry.
And we've got Michelle Escoval. You see her now, furthest from camera, and she'll be playing with sensation Rob Cassidy, who's just been such a revelation here in the last two championship events. We are, of course, coming live from Melbourne, and he previously visited us in the PPA and MLP format here in the Vietnam Open, and he was such a pleasure to host. And it's so great to see that he and Michelle have made it all the way through to a semi-final. They'll be up against young gun Nicola Skuman at the tender age of 17. What an opportunity for Nicola to go up against legends like Michelle and Rob.
I know, and like you say, what an experience. So this will be a quarterfinals that she will remember for the rest of her life.
And it could even be a PPA Tour event that she'll remember for the rest of life. On the way here, they have defeated 7-time US Open champ Kyle Yates and our star, Aussie star, number 2 pick in the MLP draft, Danielle Townsend.
There you go. So they must be in some sort of form, because that's a big win. And when you're a 17-year-old pickleball player, it's those sorts of games that give you a lot of confidence to move on to the next level. So watch out here. So I guess you could, I don't think they mind us calling them the veterans from America up against an Aussie young gun.
Yeah, well, we've had so many great chats with Michelle. I know that we had one together, and I know that you've become quite close with Michelle. And, you know, she is in such awe and appreciation for the opportunity to play in Australia. And she loves the fact that it's such a closely knit community here in Australia. It reminds her of what pickleball was like when she was starting out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're underway. So the winner of this will book a ticket into the semi-finals as well. Nice lob from Showman. And it works against Cassidy.
Well, I thought we were going to see a beautiful pirouette there. However, that ball not going in.
Nice shallow dink from Cassidy. And Cassidy really directing the show from that middle area with his dinks, moving his opponents from side to side. He's probably looking for a weakness.
And Ryan Henry goes for a big poach there. But that ball by Michelle hit so top heavy with a lot of top spin, dipping completely out of the range of the big Ryan Henry.
And he's big and powerful. And that just goes wide for Cassidy. So, yeah, whilst we were talking to Michelle yesterday, she was talking about her playing style. And, you know, and she'll safely admit that, you know, she doesn't have a huge weapon like some players do. And she loves playing to the weakness of her opposition. So when she finds a weakness, she really hones in on it. So that'll be interesting to watch here.
ATP defended.
Defended. What a rally.
Well, Rob Cassidy, he is big time, big move, big plays.
That was a great ATP from Henry. But so nicely picked up by Cassidy. Not only did he defend it, he placed it back into the court perfectly.
And just try to get involved a bit too keenly on that one. And the thing I love about Rob Cassidy is you'll hear him say, "See" a lot. And he gets up and about when he does execute a great shot.
That's yes in Spanish, yes?
See.
See. And, well, you know, he's showing his multiculturalism with an Italian shirt today.
Her communication there couldn't be any clearer, but like all males in a relationship, we don't often listen to our better halves.
Oh, Cassidy standing tall on that point.
See, Cassidy, see.
One 0-1.
I think it's fair to say that'd be Pickleball's power couple, would they not, Adam?
Certainly would. Loved having them here.
Point.
It's been great that Rob Cassidy has been able to travel with his partner, Michelle Escoval. We've had the benefit of watching him in MLP.
2-0-1.
Firstly for the Eastern Rush in the Vietnam Open, and most recently for the Melbourne Mavericks, the home team.
Point.
And Escoval just baiting young Nicholas Schumann.
Yeah, just caught her totally unawares there.
3-0-1.
We talked about Michelle honing in on weaknesses of players.
Yeah, well, Nicholas Schumann, she has a great tennis background. However, she doesn't really have too many weaknesses.
That's it, and maybe her weakness is her inexperience at this point. So, but that won't be a weakness for long.
Right on the line. Point. It's on the line.
And an interesting interaction there. Michelle Escobar was adamant that was on the line.
She was wondering what had happened because there was no call, and
well, they can confer with the referee. The referee really is there just to check for foot faults at the kitchen line. However, when they confer with the referee, if he did see it, he will make a call.
And Cassidy really leaning in and keeping that dink on Showman. So a clear strategy now is to try and freeze Henry out of this. Oh, and Cassidy showing the paddle, but Nicola finding the gap and threading the needle. And showing that she may have that experience.
I'll give you a warning. You're taking too long between the points, okay? So I'm going to call, when I call the score, it'll be cool. So 0-5-1.
So a warning there for Showman and Henry taking too long between points.
Second server.
Yeah, you don't often see that, and obviously the players have the benefit of timeouts to have these sorts of conversations, but the referee standing firm in this match. This is, of course, a quarterfinal clash. This is game one. If you are just tuning in from the Melbourne Championships, we're coming to you live from the Frankston Centenary Tennis Club.
And I think it's fair to say it's a typical Melbourne weather. 4 seasons in one day.
5-1-1. Second server.
Because it was blazing, beautiful, warm sunshine only half an hour ago.
5-1-2.
In the morning of the round robins, we saw some sunlight. It was warming us all up, but weather has turned here mid-morning.
Oh, great play from Cassidy.
6-1-2.
It's a nice double hand backhand there from the young gun, Nicholas Schumann.
1-6-1.
Henry stepping in and stepping up. What a great play from Henry.
Well, Henry has been commanding that centre line of this court. And Rob Cassidy's doing the same.
2-6-1.
Rob Cassidy, of course, the left-hander, so playing the right-hand side.
Smart play from Esquivel, pushing Henry back to his side of the court.
Second server.
That's such smart play from Esquivel. And confident play.
2-6-2.
Nice finish there from Esquivel. That ball hit way too high by Henry to the sweet spot of Esquivel. She takes care of it.
Six, 2-1.
Oh,
Point.
dinking and then punching it straight back at Showman. She just sort of had no chance. And the tape didn't help either.
Yeah, Skuman a little
7-2-1.
unlucky there in that exchange, the net getting involved. Nice reset.
Point.
And for Cassidy and Esquivel,
8-2-1.
they have a big lead in this game one. Now, first to 11, of course, best of 3 games. If we do get to a third game, we will see a change of ends at 6. However, game 1 with this sort of performance from Cassidy and Esquivel,
Second server.
who knows, Gordon?
Well, they've made a statement early, haven't they? They've shown
9-2-2.
their experience on court. You can just see that they have been playing together for a while now. And there's very few weaknesses. Oh, that's incredible defense. Oh, that is incredible play by Cassidy and Esquivel. How was that defense from Esquivel?
Well, before that, we saw a pirouette, a total 360 from Rob Cassidy. Teammates are looking out for each other right now.
They are just turning it on right now.
Side out.
Cassidy just almost fighting for his life there, getting the paddle in the way.
2-10-1. Second server.
And for Henry and
2-10-2.
Skuman, it's really important now. They've got to get some points on the board, put the pressure on the scoreboard here.
Oh,
Great finish there from Henry. A ball might have been going long, however, it was brought back into play. Henry saw one up high,
3-10-2.
finished it off. Inside out by Esquivel.
Side out.
and a chance to take this first game for Cassidy and Esquivel here.
10-3-1.
Well done, Esquivel, coming across court to finish the game. That's game one, all said and done. It's Cassidy and Esquivel. Well, what a first game we've just seen in this quarterfinal clash of the mixed opens, Gordon Watson.
Incredible start, and it really does send a strong message to Henry and Showman. Like, wow, that was almost perfect pickleball from the American duo. They've obviously been playing together for quite some time, and it really shows on court. There's just very few weaknesses, and their understanding of where the ball is on the court and where they are on the court and where their opponents are on the court and the shots they're playing, it's just so beautiful to watch. And then you've got that extra flair that they both bring as well. Like you mentioned, that pirouette turnaround by Cassidy, and yeah, just that ability to turn it on when they need it most. And it's going to be a tough way to come back here for Henry and Wild.
Well,
for Henry and Showman.
Well, we're going to find out very shortly how they do go about it, as Esquivel and Cassidy do take the court again. Henry and Skuman. Well, they're going to need to turn this momentum completely around, Gordon. We're now into game 2.
And a semi-final in the bank for one of these two. It looks like it's going to be Cassidy and Esquivel. But can Henry and Schumann change it? Change the storyline?
Well, for Henry, he tried that a number of times and it didn't come off. He just picked the better moment there. That ball was high. He went for it, put it all on the line. Great finish. And a nice start here with 2 quick points for Skuman and Henry. Must win game 2. They want to stay alive in this quarterfinal. Force it to a game 3.
Oh, just couldn't roll on that one, Henry. But a strong start nonetheless.
0-2-1. Yeah, I'll call it again. Call it again, Rob. 0-2-1.
Nice reset there from Skuman.
And doing a little shuffle there, Cassidy. Doing the little Cassidy shuffle,
1-2-1.
just almost like throwing a dummy in rugby.
Second server.
I think for all our American viewers, you've just said a word they've never heard, rugby.
Isn't rugby going to be in the Olympics next, or? Oh, rugby sevens already is, but like tag rugby or
2-2-2.
something.
That was a nice shot there by Skuman, forcing wide Cassidy.
And she's taken a leaf out of Esquivel's book there. She saw how Esquivel moved Henry kept him on his side of the court with a nice wide dink, and she has adopted the same strategy here.
3-2-1. Second server.
Well, at the feet there of Skuman, she's had to dig a number of balls out. Unfortunately, that one she could not dig.
3-2-2.
But they're in front.
Side out.
Can they stay there? If they can keep a clean score sheet here. A nice speeder from Esquivel, straight on to Showman.
Skuman had a very good look at that ball, unfortunately. Couldn't finish off the look.
Oh, and Cassidy with a few dink errors to start this second game. Unusual.
3-3-2.
There's that wide dink from Esquivel. becoming a little bit of an arm wrestle now. I think both teams starting to read the patterns of each other a little bit better.
4-3-2. Side out.
And an important side out now for Cassidy. Sorry, for Skuman and Henry.
3-4-1.
They've looked good in this game too. They need to win this game too.
Oh, that's a great ding from Cassidy.
Not sure what happened there with Skuman. It was almost like she had one shot in mind and then she went and changed it.
But it was the shape that Cassidy put on that dink. It was
3-4-2.
almost like a shovel slice off the top of the paddle. There's that wide dink.
Side out.
Esquivel has been so successful at keeping Henry honest and keeping him on his side of the court.
4-3-1.
It just hasn't allowed him to take control in this match at all.
Second server. Four, 3-2.
Nice shot there by Skuman.
Yeah. And I think the threatening of the Ernie there just was enough to put Skoman off and force that error from her.
5-3-2.
And that's a vital point. It broke that deadlock. Can they roll on from here?
Oh, what a dig.
What
deep sails straight through the middle of them.
Great defense by Michelle Esquivel. And that brings a smile to her dial.
Well, that's just the benefit of good court position. She gave herself every opportunity there just to defend those balls. In the end, a bit of miscommunication. She hits a clean winner.
And a side out, a vital side out here. They desperately need some points here to stay in this, Showman and Henry. Oh, lovely dink. Oh, just going for too much on that.
That was really well done there by Henry. He stayed in that battle for long. He kept getting the ball lower and wider. Esquivel tried to do the same, but small error there.
There it is. Second server. Four, 6-2.
Nice drive.
Has the cover here, Gordo.
Point. Oh, what a fight back from Showman and Henry. They were down and out in that rally.
Never say die, folks. Never say die. Henry and Skoman switching sides, making up for every play they could.
So with that out call, we're all locked up at 6 apiece here. This is a great fight back here from Henry and Skoman.
6-6-2.
Oh, Henry got the one he wanted.
Well, he did so well to push Michelle Esquivel all the way to play a forehand instead of a backhand dink. He exposed a lot of that court. He couldn't do anything with a good ball. Some good work that he did put together there.
6-6-1.
Oh, great defensive play from Michelle Esquivel, setting her partner up perfectly. And that's a crucial point. Breaking the 6-all deadlock.
7-6-1.
Can they roll on with it?
Watch it.
Cassidy taking a knee there. I think he was almost begging for, pleading for.
8-6-1.
It was almost an expectation there. Well, it's a timeout, so we might take a quick timeout ourselves, and we'll be back with the resumption of this second game right after this.
What's your duper?
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Melbourne Championships quarterfinal clash. Rob Cassidy, Michelle Esquivel taking out game one here. We're now into game two. Nicola Skuman and Ryan Henry, their opponents.
8-6-2.
And we have a small lead here to Cassidy and Esquivel. They are on serve as well. And a small error there, unfortunately, from Rob Cassidy. And that's a side out, handing over serve. My name's Adam Hall. Gordon Watson joining me in commentary. Gordo, good game so far.
Oh, it's a great game. And the thing that's really impressed me here is Nicola Showman's ability to adapt her game and work her team back into this, especially with that dink cross-court to Cassidy.
Well, that was a magnificent solo effort there from Cassidy. It was all him, all shots. Michelle Esquivel had seat 1A to that. Absolutely fabulous work from the US pro, Rob Cassidy.
So just like Esquivel has been keeping Henry honest on his side of the court, Nicola Showman has now been doing the same with Cassidy on his side of the court, and it's really opened up the game and made this second game a lot closer.
Nice take there from Cassidy through the middle.
Side out. 8-6-1.
Oh, the roll. Oh, nice pick up from Henry. Oh, just could not control it enough to keep it down, and who is there to put it away but Michelle Esquivel?
Well, after the quick timeout, we now see Cassidy with ball in hand, accumulating another point, getting closer to 11 here. How's the hot shoe shuffle there from Cassidy?
With
the head wobble to
I know,
match.
it makes me giggle. It makes me giggle because you know what sort of character Rob is. He's just a bundle of energy.
Do you reckon, martini-wise, he likes them shaken, not stirred?
Definitely shaken. Nice attack by Showman. She's not going to lie down.
10-6-2.
It's
Well, we have a
game match point. And there it is.
Game match.
What a great match. It's Cassidy and Esquivel who will make their way and stamp their ticket into the semi-finals with an 11-6 second game victory here over Showman and Henry. Adam, that game had everything.
Yeah, it was a lot closer than probably the result would suggest. Obviously, Cassidy and Esquivel have done it in 2 games. But the first game, well, that was not as close as this second game. I really did think that Henry and Skuman started to figure out what sort of strategy was going to work. Henry was aggressive all game. There was some really good cross-court dinking between he and Esquivel. And for Nicholas Skuman, she had a really great run here, of course, defeating the pairing of Danielle Townsend and Kyle Yates, and now having an opportunity to play against Cassidy and Esquivel. So congratulations on their run, but it will be Rob Cassidy and Michelle Esquivel that march on.
And it sets up some mouth-watering semi-finals. Semi-finals which will soon be on this court. So we might take a break and we'll be back with more action from the PPA Australia right here at the Melbourne Championships. We'll be back shortly.
What's your duper? Welcome back, PPA Tour Australia, everyone. My name is Dylan Kimlin. We're about to get underway with our semi-final here for the mixed doubles. We have Lucas Pascoe, Katie Hart closest to screen, and they'll be taking on the experienced duo of Amelia Schmidt and Mitchell Hargraves. 3 games to 11, win by 2. Should we get to a third game, the players will swap at 6. Sitting alongside me, just jumped in the booth, Adam Hall.
Hello, Dylan. I'm very, very well. Thank you very much. You just see the coin toss happening here. See who wants to serve, who wants to receive, or which end you want to start with. There, generally your 3 options here in pickleball. We're coming to you live from the Frankston Centenary Tennis Club. Conditions today, a little chilly as you might be able to see. However, not much wind, certainly not as much wind as Friday, Dylan.
I don't know. I nearly got blown away while commentating a game earlier for the Masters.
Well, I think that was a mini tornado that came across Frankston Centenary Tennis Club.
Yeah, that was wild. But you are right. It's quite still now here on the courts. And looks like we can get underway. The combination of Schmidt and Hargraves to serve first.
It will be Amelia Schmidt who will bring us into play. She'll be serving to Katie Hart. Semi-final action, mixed open doubles from the Melbourne Championships. And a super low dig there from Mitch Hargraves. Almost a hit and hope there. That ball travelled well and truly long. Well left there by... No, potentially not well left there by Pascoe, unfortunately.
0-0-2.
And talking about Lucas Pascoe, I was just speaking to his father just before this game began and all of the achievements he's had in the last month or so. Adam, he's just got his driver's license ticked off and done a bunch of school exams. Just goes to show these young superstars, they got more in their life going on than just pickleball, and here he is dominating as usual.
1-0-1.
1-0-1.
Great setup there by Lucas off that Joola paddle of his.
1-0-2.
So we do have a bit of a silver standard here from these two teams. Mitchell and Amelia did win the silver for the PPA Vietnam. And then Katie Hart and Lucas Pascoe also won silver for our event in Gold Coast.
Point.
They'll have a chance to go through for the gold, though. The winner of this will take on the winner of the combination of Esquivel and Cassidy v. Bartia
3-0-2.
and Bates. That'll be an absolute cracker.
Side out.
Nice dominant court position. Lucas Pascoe taking up that middle. Will be interesting to see
3-1.
Hart and Pascoe. Obviously, we've got forehands through the middle. Katie Hart, a left-handed player. Nice finish there by Hargraves.
Ooh.
Go 3-2.
Great read by Schmidt.
Point. On 3-2. Side out.
And they're a very experienced duo, Schmidt and Hargraves, been playing together for years now.
3-1-1.
3-1-1. Had many successes under their belt as well. Ooh, Amelia trying to take Lucas out. Probably the most nonchalant player in the PPA Australia format, Adam.
Yes,
3-1-2.
but he loves his pickleball. He's pretty bloody good at it too.
I still want his commentary debut to happen. Librarian Lucas, he was quite reserved, let's put it that way.
Well, you were talking about earlier Amelia Schmidt and Mitchell Hargraves. They've been in this partnership with one another for years now. And they'd be very keen to get a gold medal here. They have played very well throughout this season. Picking up a gold medal in our Sydney event, our first stop for the year. But most recently, runner-up to Danielle Townsend and Joey Wild at the Vietnam Open. We're here from the Melbourne Championships now.
Oof, bang.
Second server.
In this semi-final match, game 1,
1-4-2.
Hargraves and Schmidt are looking pretty solid.
Point.
And we did see yesterday in the women's doubles, Adam, Katie Hart was getting lobbed a lot. You can see that left foot of hers is heavily strapped. But she seems to be moving quite well today.
4-2-1.
Wow.
Point.
My goodness, Mitchell Hargraves. Very mobile today, isn't he? He's flying around the court.
Yeah, we did see him late last night, captain of the Sydney Smash, call for a medical timeout. He appears completely unhindered here, though, on this show court.
You know, I would say if there's a random statistic to pull out, the combination of Schmidt and Hargraves have probably called the most medical timeouts out of any PPA duo.
It's a really niche stat, but I think you are 100% correct there, Dylan Kimlin.
Yeah, they know how to utilise their time.
7-2-1.
I'd say it's an experience thing. They know that they would rather slow down the momentum of their opposition.
Point.
And a 15-minute way to slow down your opposition is one way of doing it. Speaking of timeouts, we have one here on the side of Hart and Pascoe.
Well, Hart and Pascoe, they have called for the timeout just because the score has blown out. 5-point deficit now. We're only in game 1, though. We did see Pascoe start with a bang, though. He was calling the shots very early. He had some great finishes on the ball. He took all opportunities and all looks at it. Katie Hart not happy with herself at the end of that before they did call the timeout.
Yeah, and I actually think Lucas needs to fire here if they're to have a real shot at getting through to the gold. Amelia and Mitchell have just played together for so long now. Like they can both fire, I think, is the big thing with them both. Like, one of them can have an average game, and they can still comfortably get through if the other one does reasonably well. I recall calling these two as a duo so many times now, and each time they just find another way to get up. So the question has been asked for Hart and Pascoe. And quite a large deficit here they need to cut back on. And that's the start they're looking for.
Great finish there from Katie Hart. That powerful left hand.
Katie last night in her Eastern Rush game pulled off probably the most casual Ernie I've ever seen. It was quite funny, Adam. She walked up to the kitchen line, or to the side of the kitchen rather, and just stuck her left hand out and just swatted the ball down. It was just a very, very casual Ernie. It was awesome to see. Oh, Amelia Schmidt, great shot down the left side. You can see they're really trying to freeze Lucas Pascoe out until it matters. Speaking of Amelia, she made her commentary debut this weekend, Adam.
Yeah, she did, and I thought on debut she was magnificent, to be quite frank. She had great insight, as you would expect one of our top players to have, and she seemed to really relish the opportunity to actually be in front of a microphone. She speaks very well. She's doing a lot of media, comes with
Game, 2 minutes.
being a top performer. And speaking of top performances, well, that's a pretty quick one. 11-2 in game one here of this semi-final. It does go the way of Hargreaves and Schmidt.
Just clinical. I think it looked to me like Hart and Pascoe, they just haven't woken up yet. They just look very too casual.
Well, I reckon they scored the first 2 points and then that was it. And
Yep.
they went down 11-2. We might take the opportunity for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have game two of this semi-final clash. Don't go very far.
What's your duper?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game two. Katie Hart bringing us into play here. Game one has been taken out by Schmidt and Hargreaves. And net cord, favourable roll there for Amelia Schmidt. It was a good start, you could say, for Pascoe and Hart. They scored the first 2 points of game one, but then did not trouble the scorer from there on, Dylan Kimlin.
Yeah, I believe we were just saying off camera that it was like an 11-point run for Schmidt and Hargreaves. Talk about momentum. Whew.
And they look incredibly sharp right now, Hargreaves and Schmidt.
2-0-1. 2-0-1. Yeah.
Oh, Amelia
That's
Schmidt.
big. That's big. Double hand backhand there from Amelia Schmidt.
3-0-1.
Oh,
And
the
again.
positioning there from Amelia Schmidt. She's elite right now, Dylan Kimlin.
Oh, my goodness.
4-0-1 receiver.
Flight 401, Amelia Schmidt off for takeoff, and they have forced the timeout immediately from their opposition to Hart and Pascoe.
Well, straight out of this game two, we've seen more of the same, really, from
Yep.
Schmidt and Hargreaves.
Yeah, and I think this is a real danger sign to whoever they'll go through to the gold if they win this game, because they haven't put a foot wrong.
No, well, don't want to say it's an early call, but it could be quite a fortuitous call there, Dylan. They do look in absolute control here.
Yep.
You can see a clear strategy there with the drive and Amelia Schmidt taking the centre of the court. She's ripped 2 backhands now, one finding the baseline, the other forcing an error.
Yep.
And you mentioned before, you know, how consistent they are, and you know, not often you see one down and one up, but the other is able to compensate and bring the other one back up. Right now, they are
They're both
sky
high.
high.
Yep. Yeah, and Pascoe and Hart are going to have to be giant killers here if they want to get back into this game. They have quite a large lead to cut back immediately. Oh, Mitchell Hargreaves joining the double-handed backhand party.
Well, a little more aggressive play there from Pascoe, and almost came off. Katie Hart did well. However, one ball went too high. Mitch Hargreaves said goodbye.
Point.
Take two. Yeah, and I just feel that it's just simply that Schmidt and Hargreaves haven't made a mistake.
0-1.
Their drives are perfect. They're crashing non-stop. Case in point.
Yeah, and that was a great drive there by Schmidt to Katie Hart. Smart positioning there from Hargraves. He didn't take the middle that time. He just advanced to his kitchen line.
Oh, Lucas cops a body.
Well, Katie Hart really not happy with herself there. She's a little hard on herself, though. That was a tremendous reach there from Hargraves after the amount of spin that Pascoe was able to put on it. But unfortunately, she popped it up way too high. And that ball was taken care of.
I was about to say, Adam, are we about to see a 22-point swing here from Schmidt and Hargraves? Has that ever happened in the PPA Tour Australia? Ooh, never mind. And I think Pascoe really needs to get big here if they want a chance.
0-8-1. Second server.
The ball's been called wide from Katie Hart. Trying all sorts of things, all sorts of angles.
0-8-2.
Great aggressive play there from Pascoe at the body of Mitch Hargraves.
8-2.
There we go.
Point.
It's a great shot from Lucas.
You've got to love how he side saddles that sideline. Opens the palm up. Gets an extreme angle on that at the feet of Mitch Hargraves there. He's on an off-court excursion right now to retrieve that ball.
It just goes to show you how hard he can get to hit the ball as well. At that tight angle.
That was an interest, like that was a pattern that we've seen time and time again. We have a timeout here. We might take the opportunity for a quick timeout. When we come back, more of this game 2, this all-important game 2 from the Melbourne Championships.
Welcome back, everyone. PPA Tour Australia. We're underway with our mixed doubles semi-final here. Pascoe to serve. Let's get back underway. It's a great shot there from Lucas Pascoe. Top spin generated. They made it a 4-point game.
Well, Schmidt had the hand over mouth there. She couldn't believe she let that one go and it dropped in. I think she made the right call. Maybe a bit of the conditions assisting Pascoe there with the wind.
Side out.
Toe crusher there from Hargraves. Great shot. Side out.
8-4-1. Second server. 8-4-2.
Oh, Hart firing at Hargraves.
Well, I think Hart there got a little lucky. She premeditated that shot from Hargraves, and Hargraves just a bit wild with the paddle there, sending that one long. But a nice turnaround here for Katie Hart.
Yeah, this is a great little swing of momentum here for Hart and Pascoe.
Second server. 4-8-2.
Oh, there we go.
Point.
Well, Pascoe, we said he needed to be more aggressive, Dylan, and when it was 0-8 down, we started to see some more aggression.
5-8-2.
This is big for Pascoe and Hart. They've made a game out of it. Scored wide. Suddenly we have a 2-point game.
Well, this is an impressive turnaround, but can they keep it going? Great dig.
Right up.
Unfortunately there for Hart. She got the hard shot back. Couldn't follow it.
8-6-1.
Oh, there we go. And we saw that shot earlier from Hargraves, aiming to the left side. And he unfortunately hit it out against Katie Hart earlier. Hart's throwing paddles, apparently.
No, I think
accidental.
That one slip.
Yeah,
One slip. Adrian Gray was right onto it, though.
Speaking of throwing paddles, ironically, Mitchell Hargraves in Vietnam had the most unfortunate kitchen call I've seen because it was that humid. His paddle flew out of his hand after winning a point and he threw it straight into the net. So he lost the point.
Point.
I do recall seeing that one. I think he hit a nice winner.
Speaking of winning, match point situation here for Hargraves and Schmidt. And the net roll secures it.
Match.
They will be going through to the gold medal for Hart and Pascoe. They fired, but probably just a little bit too late. They have a chance for a bronze medal, in which they'll be versing the loser out of the game on our Showcourt 2 between Cassidy and Esquivel, Bates and Bartia. You can catch that on our other Showcourt. Gordo's calling that one, and that'll be an absolute thriller as well. Adam, any key analysis from that particular game?
Well, it's hard to analyse such a dominant performance because the story is all Schmidt and Hargraves there. It was just effortless in the end, though. They had the ascendancy in game one and they had the ascendancy in game two. I mean, the scoreboard got a lot closer and made it sort of a bit more of an entertaining looking fixture, but realistically, that combination of Hargraves and Schmidt, they're back to their old ways.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's probably a big confidence booster for them too.
Huge.
They've been, it's crazy to consider them down in a rut, but it's because they haven't been winning golds. That's just the sheer standard that they set. So it's obviously great to see them back in a potential medal match, or a definite medal match, but a potential gold medal up for grabs for them both. We're going to go to a commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back live here with the PPA Tour Australia. Gold medals coming up soon. As I mentioned, Showcourt 2 currently showing the other semi-final for our mixed doubles. We look forward to seeing you back on the courts after this.
What's your duper?
And welcome to PPA Australia. It's the Melbourne Championship live from the Frankston Centenary Tennis Centre. And it's gold medal time in the mixed doubles. And I'm joined by Dylan Kimlin. Dylan, this is a mouth-watering prospect.
Yeah, it is, Gordo. We've got the combination of Schmidt and Hargraves coming up against Bartier and Bates. I think I was fortunate enough to cover the duo of Amelia and Mitchell earlier today, and they were red hot. You had the chance to cover both Shelby and Aman, so we both got a good insight into this game as well. Give us a bit of a rundown. How did the duo furthest from camera go?
Oh, look, they've been in great form, and I cannot believe it's the first time they've played together. It's, it's mind-blowing. So you've got the tried and true combination of Hargraves and Schmidt up against first-timers, Bates and Bartier. This is going to be close.
Yeah, and this will be 3 games to 11, win by 2. Should we get to a third, the players will swap at 6. Utilising the Jura fast 40s, Amelia Schmidt to bring it in, 0-0. Man Bartier so strong at that kitchen line.
And the story I like about this, one of the stories I like about this, I'll come to in a second. Nice work. Is, of course, the female duos are
teammates.
Yeah, teammates when it comes to MLP time, MLP Australia time. And they'll be back on court later as part of the Western Vipers. But in this final, they find themselves on opposite sides of the net. So it'd be fair to say they know each other's game. And they also play women's doubles together. So
2-0-1.
it makes for an interesting matchup. Nice dink rally. And an ATP attempt from Bates.
That would have fired her up, but she pulled it off.
It was a little bit optimistic, perhaps.
When you're that good, Gordo, I think you can go for the optimistic shots. Speaking of good, Aman Bartier has been on an absolute tear this year. Great start here for Bartier Bates.
3-0-2.
And he's just getting some extra crank on that serve and some extra topspin by the looks as well. Really causing havoc for Hargraves and Schmidt.
That's so good from Aman. And to say this is an international v Australia battle too, Gordo. We've got a timeout here on the side of Schmidt and Hargraves.
And not a great start here for Schmidt and Hargraves, but an excellent start for Bates and Bartier. They're up 5-0. And Schmidt and Hargraves, this is their second final that they've made in a row. They, of course, made the final in Vietnam only a couple of weeks ago. And they've stamped their ticket here, obviously, in Melbourne. So they'll be looking to go one better than they did in Melbourne. And the funny thing is, there's no Joey Wild and Danielle Townsend to stop them this time, but instead there's Bates and Bartier in the way. So
yeah, it's a scary prospect because Schmidt and Hargraves got silver in our Gold Coast event as well. So there is a potential for their third silver medal here.
Yeah. And you don't want to be bridesmaid 3 times in a row. And there you go. Hargraves making a statement with that smash.
It's almost a mirror image of what Hargraves and Schmidt did to Lucas Pascoe and Katie Hart in their semi-final. They came out flying to get us going.
0-5-1.
But they're on the other foot this time around.
Oh, Hargraves going right at the belly button of Bates. So they're on the board.
Second server.
That first shot from Amelia just a tad too high, allowed
1-5-2.
Bardia to get the upper hand. On the net roll, nice collection from Schmidt.
Oh, she had it too. Opportunity to launch was there. Couldn't capitalise.
5-1-1.
Signal to switch here for Hargroves and Schmidt.
Point.
Our official for this game, none other than Paul Campbell, keeping everyone in check. Can see our bronze medal going on with our kitchen cam just then with the
6-1-1.
games that we covered earlier today.
He's a Sunshine Coast boy, but he's originally from Melbourne, I believe.
Yes, he is. Does half-half. Said he loves the sunny coast for the weather and then
6-1-1.
comes to Melbourne to remind himself of that lovely weather that he gets at Sunshine Coast.
Great defence from Bates.
Oh, Shelby had the chance. How often do we see Mitchell Hargraves backing away in a firefight? Shelby raw aggression.
1-6-1. Second server. 1-6-2.
Nice shape on that serve from Schmidt.
There we go, Lucas.
Oh,
Point.
Yeah, we can see Aman starting to get frozen out here. Schmidt and Hargraves making their intentions clear, targeting Shelby Bates with those fast speed ups.
2-6-2.
Oh, the net roll.
that was looking to go down the middle, but the net roll had other ideas.
It's a great passage of play here for Schmidt and Hargraves, though. They've settled the ship.
3-6-2.
ATP, not to be.
She had a good look at that, Schmidt.
And the two ladies have had two
6-3-1.
ATP misses.
Second server.
So they managed to trim that lead to 3. If they can keep a clean sheet here and get a side out.
6-3-2. Side out.
So can they build here
3-6-1.
after a sluggish start? Nice serve down the middle.
Second server. 3-6-2.
And that breeze still blowing around.
3-6-2.
It's just enough to be pesky, Dylan. Nice defence from Schmidt, but the touch of Bhatia just too much.
6-3-1.
Oh, Schmidt looking to go back across court to Bates, but just couldn't get it back over.
7-3-1.
And it's Bates and Bhatia just putting some more points on the board.
Oh,
And boom, Bates.
Timeout. Receiving team score is 8-3-1.
Shelby demolished that, didn't she? And as a result, they forced a timeout.
And it's 8-3, and it's a commanding start from Bhatia and Bates here, Dylan. This is not what I expected.
No, neither did I, considering how just the form that Amelia and Mitchell were in leading into this gold medal. But, you know, it's pressure pickleball, Gordo. Everyone needs to come to the party, and unfortunately for Schmidt and Hargraves, not the case. But, my goodness, Shelby and Aman are playing lights out.
Absolutely. They really, well, we know the talent that Mitchell Hargraves and Amelia Schmidt have, but they just haven't been able, they just haven't been led into this match so far. And that's a credit to Bates and Bhatia, really limiting the opportunities for their opponents.
Time in. Score is 8-3-1.
Shelby almost thought she'd hit a winner, but
8-3-2.
oh, that's a great speed up from Bates. Hit that so flat.
9-3-2. Point.
Yeah, Schmidt was ready for that too. Aman taking her on. She just seems to be a little bit off here, Gordo. A couple unforced errors on shots she would normally put away.
A game point all of a sudden for Bhatia and Bates.
Oh, Hargraves saves it. Terrific defensive effort there from Amelia Schmidt.
Managed to fend it off.
3-10-1.
Oh, and that's a ripping forehand from Mitch Hargraves.
4-10-1. Point.
So 2 quick points here for Schmidt and Hargraves.
5-10-1.
Oh, Shelby Bates with the earning.
Shelby Bates.
Second server.
She read that perfectly. She was almost positioned right in the Ernie position before Mitch even hit that. And that's a great attack by Schmidt, going straight on to Bhatia.
6-10-2.
Shelby's playing some great shots, Gordo. I think she's comfortably won that left side thus far.
10-6-1.
Second game point. And there it is. The first game is in the bag for Bhatia and Bates. 11-6 over Schmidt and Hargraves. It's the gold medal match in the mixed doubles here at the PPA Australia event here in Melbourne. What a ripping first game, Dylan.
Yeah, I see that as a double-edged sword. So the first part, obviously, Shelby and Aman would be very pleased with their efforts to get going. But I think Amelia and Mitchell can take a little bit of solace in that they didn't just give in. There was a point there where it looked like it was going to be a complete whitewash. And they made it a bit more competitive.
Yeah, well, like you say, they finished well, and I think that'll give them confidence going into the second game. So, and if they can take that and take it to a third, who knows what could happen. But it certainly won't be as easy as Bates and Bhatia maybe perhaps thought it was going to be. They've got a real struggle on their hands right now.
Yeah, and I think the key factor that I saw there was that, you know, Amelia Schmidt did have quite a few unforced errors to begin with, but in the end, Shelby Bates just dominated the right side, continually targeting Mitchell Hargraves and winning the contest.
Here we go, we're back underway. It's game two. Oh, Bates with the ATP.
Yep, point proven right there. My goodness, Shelby running riot right now in Melbourne.
0-0-1.
Oh,
Point.
and Bhatia just going that backhand straight down the middle. That drive was just something special.
1-0-1. Point.
And if I was captain of the Western Vipers, Andy Horridge, I'd be pretty happy with this. Seeing you two
2-0-2.
ladies firing up here. Great drive from Bates.
That was right. That was so flat and targeted. And it looks like we're going for a quick timeout. And why not? Because Bates and Bhatia are white hot right now. It's 3-0. Why don't we take a quick break and we'll be back with more right after this.
What's your duper?
Welcome back, everyone. PPA Tour Australia back underway with our game 2 of this gold medal of the mixed doubles. Shelby Bates and Aman Bhatia currently enjoying a bit of a lead. And Shelby running riot. Oh, and Aman Bhatia.
And Aman. I think Schmidt would have been safer to go back for another dink there than speeding up because there was a huge gap and Aman's eyes just lit up.
Second server. 4-0-2. Side out.
Okay, the opportunity has presented itself. What can Schmidt and Hargraves do?
It's got to be go time now for Schmidt and Hargraves.
0-4-1.
They cannot wait any longer.
Second server. 0-4-2. Point.
Here we go. Points on the board. The ball is rolling.
1-4-2.
Great defense from Schmidt.
Oh, Amelia digging deep. She pitched a 10 on the baseline there, Gordo, and managed to get out of it.
2-4-2. Point.
And a cheap point there. So Schmidt and Hargraves grinding their way back.
3-4-2.
Oh,
You're not
what
getting
an,
that one back.
what an angle from Bhatia. How do you do that? That is sensational play from the Indian champion.
I was just thinking that Schmidt and Hargraves have been defending so well, but that shot,
You cannot defend
you
against
can't.
that.
No.
4-3-1. Second server.
Hargraves catching Bhatia off guard there, getting himself
4-3-2.
involved. Close game, 1 point in it.
Point.
Another good setup by Shelby Bates.
5-3-2.
And that just long from Hargraves. So after it looked like they were winding their way back into this, it's all of a sudden 6-3.
Terrific hands. Side out again, but Schmidt and Hargraves just haven't been able to get points on the board while serving. Seems they might still be in that rally scoring format, Gordo, because they would be doing well if we were playing rally.
Point. Timeout receiving team score is 4-6-1.
So 4-6-1. We've got a timeout. It's the gold medal match here in Melbourne at the Melbourne Championships, PPA Australia. The sun has come out. I think the players will be happy with that, Dylan.
Yeah, I feel like the wind has also sort of settled down, so hopefully this afternoon leading into the evening is nice. But yeah, this morning was a little bit gloomy here in Melbourne. But the games have been fantastic. We did have our MLPA Masters games to get us started, and then obviously our mixed throughout the day. What have your thoughts been on the PPA event thus far this weekend, Gordo?
Oh, it's been a great event here in Melbourne. Melbourne's, you know, it's arguably the sports capital of Australia, and, you know, the Melbourne team, the Melbourne Mavericks have shone, and the sun is shining now, and the courts and the facility here at the Frankston Centenary Tennis Centre are incredible. The facilities are high quality.
Second server.
Just like the play of Bhatia and Bates. Their quality play is making it so hard for Schmidt and Hargraves to even get a look in here.
Oh, that's wide. Amelia Schmidt looking to play with aggression here. Trying to change things up.
6-4-1.
Nice deep serve from Bates. Oh, and Hargraves coming across court to take that. But Bhatia managed to get a paddle and almost fell back into court. Here they go. Can Mitch Hargraves and Amelia Schmidt close the gap here?
4-6-1.
Long.
Second server.
Second server.
Point. 4-6-2.
Net roll.
Point.
They're getting the net roll, and I think we on the other court, Dylan, our bronze medalist has just been decided in the mixed doubles. And that, nice.
Ended up winning it.
It looks like Esquivel and Cassidy have taken out the bronze medal in the mixed doubles. So there's only the gold medal and the silver medal to be decided now. And that goes long from Bhatia. Great. Oh, Schmidt. Oh, what an incredible rally.
And Aman goes big. Can fire at any given time.
The hands battle there was just next level.
7-5-2.
Mitch starting to insert himself.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting if Bartia and Hargraves really start to go toe-to-toe.
5-7-1.
And
Second server.
Schmidt going for the ATP.
The ladies, I believe, the only ones that have attempted the ATPs thus far,
5-7-2.
Gordo.
Nice
Right out.
attacking play from Bhatia.
Yeah, Schmidt caught in no man's land there, and you don't want a swinging Aman Bhatia hitting that fast 40 straight at your feet.
7-5-1. Point.
Sorry, not sorry. The tape falling in for Bhatia and Bates, and it puts them within 3 points of a gold medal. And with that, Hargraves and Schmidt have seen enough. They're going to take time out, as might we. We'll be back with more of Game 2 right after this.
Welcome back, everyone. PPA Tour Australia. You've caught us in the middle of a joke there as the players have recommenced the courts and we can get started. That's long.
Second server.
It's gold medal action here in the mixed doubles. Closest to camera, Bhatia and Bates. Up against Hargraves and Schmidt.
Oh, firing Mitchell Hargraves. Here we go. Momentum. Funny thing in pickleball. Schmidt and Hargraves making it
5-8-1.
another side out.
Second server.
Shelby Bates has been phenomenal throughout this game. Aman Bhatia was getting more involved though
5-8-2.
before our last time out.
Great play.
Lob
Bates.
is perfect. And Aman sends it.
So what a play from Bates. Perfectly placed lob, setting Bhatia up for the smash.
That is clinic on cross-thinking.
8-5-1.
Brilliant play from Bhatia and Bates.
Second server. 8-5-2.
Oh, Bates has hit the deck. She's okay.
Was on the line.
All right, ball was called out. There's been a challenge confirmed in.
Side out.
Mitchell Hargraves.
That was a
Tipping
great.
it in.
That was a great shot by Mitch Hargraves, just quietly. But
5-8-1.
I was concerned about the way Bates fell, but she seems okay. And that's a
Obliterated.
stunning put away. It's like a taser
5-8-2.
down the middle. Oh, Bates.
There we go.
The ATP setting up the put away for Bhatia. Beautiful combination from Bhatia and Bates.
8-5-1.
Oh, she is massive. Rising to the occasion, Gordo, again and again.
She's proving to be the difference right now, Shelby Bates.
Amelia Schmidt catching Bhatia off guard.
Nine, 5-2.
Just 2 points away. And that's a stunning backhand from Bhatia. So flat.
And that brings up a gold medal point here
10-5-2.
for Bhatia and Bates.
You. Go. You.
And they've done it.
Point game match.
What a stunning victory for Bhatia and Bates. 10-5 here in the second game. Dylan Kimlin, they did not let Schmidt and Hargraves into that match 1 ounce.
No, not at all. I think Shelby Bates, as you mentioned earlier, was the difference maker. She just played so well. Aman Bhatia didn't miss. Made
Oh,
minimal
completely.
errors.
Absolutely.
You do feel that Mitchell and Amelia really had to... The points they won were due to hard-fought points, whereas occasionally Aman and Shelby would get the easier set of points throughout the mix. And they just played out of their skin. Like, I think, how many ATPs did Shelby Bates end up getting in the end?
She was an attacking weapon. There were a couple of ATPs, and if she wasn't hitting them, she was just threatening at every opportunity, and just not phased about going straight on to Mitch Hargraves and just moving the ball around with the dink with Amelia and just looking for those opportunities, those patient opportunities, and they were just relentless.
Oh, well-deserved gold medal, honestly, to these two. They've fought hard all throughout this season here, and to take away the shinies here in our last PPA event in Melbourne, they'll be pretty happy with the results. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close down the stream for now. We do have our MLPA footage coming up 3 o'clock onwards, Melbourne time, of course. Where we will get stuck into Championship Sunday, Gordo. The action continues, and we will see Shelby Bates also on the court teaming up with Amelia Schmidt.
With Amelia Schmidt, yeah.
So thank you, everyone. We will see you back live here in Melbourne straight after this commercial break, and once our set of teams get ready to go.
True duper.